Hello everyone, welcome back to OpenLine, talking about caring for an aging loved one or challenges you face as you age. Elder law attorney Barbara Boone McGinnis is here to kind of help walk us through some of those complicated scenarios, financially and otherwise. Just heard from somebody who's caring for his 88-year-old father, has Crohn's disease, and he's just wondering what sort of things might he be eligible for. And that's part of what you do, right?
It is part of what we do.
People find what they can apply for and get.
Yeah, that scenario, it would be more likely folks would be coming to talk to us about dad and how are we going to get dad taken care of, because disability law is a distinct specialty all on its own.
Let's go to Tommy. Hello, Tommy.
Yes.
What's on your mind?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I'm 53 years old, and I recently, in January of last year, moved in my 61-year-old sister from out of state who had a near-death illness and was already on Social Security disability from a stage 4 colon cancer.
Wow.
Thing she went through in '05. Anyways, I'm her caretaker. I quit my job to take care of her, and I really don't have a long-term plan in place. I'm kind of just winging it as I go.
Right.
And I'm her power of attorney over her finances, but that's as far as it goes. And she's at a point now where she's fighting me about what kind of care she does and doesn't need. I was wondering about conservatorship. When do I need to look at trying to get that, or do I even need that, or I need help on that?
Okay.
Thank you, Tommy.
Yeah.
What is conservatorship? What is he asking there?
Well, a conservatorship is when the court actually gives someone legal authority over someone else. In Tennessee, conservators are for adults and guardianships are for children. If a person still has legal capacity to make decisions, then they can make their own decisions. They can also grant some authority via a power of attorney or a healthcare power of attorney document to another person. So making medical decisions for someone else is through a healthcare power of attorney would be a way to do that. As long as she has capacity, medical providers are always going to defer to the person.
Right.
If there's mental health illness and we're really not in a spot where we're making good healthcare decisions for ourselves, then a conservatorship may be in order. Just because she's refusing care, or just because she may be making unwise decisions, what looks unwise to an outsider doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't have capacity.
And how hard is it to get that? Because you're having to prove, again. You're
having to prove that that person is really not capable any longer of making good decisions for themselves. So a petition's filed into the court.
Well, and that would be so disruptive. So here he's battling, he's got a sick sister.
Right.
And for him to go to court and try and prove that she's not competent, say he loses, how do you go forward there? I mean, this is a difficult.
Yeah, Christmas dinner might be awkward at that point in time, right? So it's a petition that's filed with the court. It probably needs legal guidance, and then he would file requesting that he be appointed the conservator over his sister so he can make decisions. Rights are literally removed from the individual and given to the court-appointed person, him as the conservator. We're looking at things like legal financial decision making and then personal care decision making. So he could be conservator over person and property, or one or the other. Here in Davidson County, there is an Office of Conservatorship Management then that helps oversight to make sure that helps the court oversee the whole entire conservatorship process so that the individuals are protected when that happens. Usually it takes a few months for all of it, unless there's an emergency. It takes a few months, and it's going to cost it's going to cost legal fees and court fees to get it established.
How often does someone attempt to get a conservatorship and it not happen? I guess how often are these a contentious thing?
If the person that is at risk of being a conservatee or a ward contests the proceedings, then another attorney is appointed to represent that person. It drags on longer and longer, and there would be an increased chance of it not being awarded. Chances are pretty good that if there really is impaired capacity on the part of his sister, that he would be appointed conservator.
Right. But if she fought it, that's a whole separate thing.
Yeah, it becomes more expensive and more drawn out.
All right,
Yeah.
Tommy, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sad.
Let's go to Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hey, Nick at night. Listen, I talk to Nick in the morning and the guy with the senior stuff all the time.
Right.
And, my father, he has some property in Florida. It's off Daytona Beach, Orland Beach. And it's not much. It's mostly swampland. It's like what you call an inland waterway. When you go to the beach in Daytona, you see the beach, and they have these little riverways, and he has some property there, and not much, And there was a lady living there in a trailer, and she was, I don't know what you call it, taking advantage of him and stuff. We finally got her evicted, and my dad, he insisted on still living there, so he moved him to Ormond Beach in a condo. Now this property is sitting there, and I'm wondering about the insurance liabilities. And Dan Kennedy told me that, hey, you got to watch, make sure that nothing's going to happen there. And I'm wondering, a lot of these older guys, they don't want people to say that you're taking control of them. So can you take control of them but not really know that they're taking control of them?
Discreetly take control of them.
Well,
I guess covertly take control of them. All right, that's a good question, Brian. Thank you. Thanks for the call.
Okay, liability of uninhabited property. Of course, you do have to let your insurance carrier be aware that your property is now vacant, and if you can continue to have insurance on your property, it's probably going to be more expensive. Begs the question, why do we still have the property? Could it be sold and the money be used for some better purpose? Mediation might be an answer between dad and son. If they can't reach an agreement between the two of them, mediation may be an answer. No, you can't take control of somebody without somebody knowing that you've taken control over them. There's all kinds of different ways that you can get legal authority to make decision. Power of attorney that's effective immediately. Trustee of a trust, if the property was owned by a trust, then the trustee would have authority over the property. Conservatorship, whatever they call conservatorship in Florida, probably conservatorships, that's if the way to take control over someone's decision making when someone's not really wanting to cooperate with you. But they're going to be noticed, and by the court, they're going to be noticed, and so nothing's going to happen with to keep things on the low down.
Right. If you're doing something that dramatic, it's going to be open and out.
It is. It's going to be
open. Seems like
open.
in the movies, maybe there's something where it happens and people don't know about it, or maybe they're tricked into signing something. But I
think those are called scams.
Yeah. Yeah. So be careful about that. But no, for the most part, it's going to be out in the open, and you're going to know.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, thank you for that call. Let's take a break now. Others who want to call in, there's the number, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. Want to hear your stories, whether you are caring for an elderly loved one or you yourself are facing issues and have questions. Take a break. Be back right after this.